Thought Asperger's had to be more obvious. I chewed cuticles. That was my STEM. I also had special interests. They were kind of normal or ambiguous. I play Yahtzee over and over and chart the statistics. Stuff like that. It's mostly about the senses, and repetition as defense. It's an extreme form of being left-handed, in which society is not built for those with autism spectrum disorder. Society acts out problems created by rigged media and government. And I sent them a shorter email, which they liked. So they're making me earn it, but they like this one. I need platforms. I love to write. I love to take a chance and speak and write. Okay, at Medicating Normal, I thought about your question a bit more. It's not that I actually responded to anyone in a give and take way. I was responding to what was said by the panel. My inner gut was cynically saying that's a money grab or bad strategy because nothing ever changes by pandering to universities or small groups. Only when masses of people become aware of something does anything change. I'm thinking how Roots changed America. I'm thinking 50 million views of your movie on YouTube would certainly make a bigger dent than speaking to choirs. I'm very curious about the theory of mind in regards to autism. Perhaps we are similar to Helen Keller, if one can only find a way to communicate in the Aspie language. That's probably what your question was truly asking. I can read feelings, but not minds. Yet, I think I can read some minds based off of feelings. I want a psychologist to help work through my experience in order that I can stay unstuck and not overthink things. Some people want measured words. Others say spit it out. They think free speech is more important than hurt feelings. I think that's what the European guy on the bottom right side was implying in the other recent panel. Correct, some guy snuck in the freedom of speech scandals going on lately. Or building, or generating. I wanted to bring in some Adam Curtis. He tries to explain these things. He's the BBC documentary guy. I wrote a comment. I should fetch that comment too. Someone liked it. Here it is. Adam Curtis is overrated at best, a disinfo shill at worst. One would be better off researching and studying the ideas of Eric Fromm. He did the hypernormalization. He's got like a gimmicky documentary style. I guess I had to sneak that in. So okay, now that's done. That part of it. And now it's time to go through the notes of what I was going over in the previews. I'll forget about the early screenshot stuff. It's there. I went through it. So, I guess I'm mostly looking at Redneckonomics. I'll do that timestamp again. These numbers don't really matter. They matter to me. They're going to help me edit this. I messed up in the other video a little while ago. I forget which one. Sorry about it. I repeated a little bit of a couple minutes, I think. It's a really stupid mistake, and I apologize. I'll be more careful, or try. Getting my eye fixed soon. Getting both eyes fixed. I have cataracts. I had a heart attack 2.5 years ago. Getting my arse kicked and battered about. But I'll be okay. 121. 00. It's a coup. That's Stevie. I'll let her words do the talking.
You know that whatever they point the finger at us about, they whatever they blame us for or blame the other party for, that's what they're guilty of. So when they're blaming us for being domestic terrorists, what's that say? That they're the ones that are terrorizing people. They're the ones that are exporting terrorism around the world when they're doing coups. What Biden is in office, he has maybe 2 brain cells left, and 20,000 troops surrounding him, barbed wire fence. Is this what democracy looks like? Is this what a democratically elected president looks like? That's so well loved and liked that there's, rallies out in the streets, but they have to surround the Capitol in fences. This is a coup. This is a coup. We've seen them do it all around the world, and now we're seeing it at our own capital. It's a coup.
It's a giant psyop coup.
I have written down 123. Are they editing in sounds or otherwise effing with viewers?
Fucking move! God, they're so slow. And they're just got their phones out like tourists. Selfie sticks, like tourists. Let's just take our time, walk within the ropes. It was a museum tour.
Yeah.
And then you got all these Democrats that are there. I feared for my life. It was really scary. Well, I bet it was really scary when people acted of their own will, right? It's pretty scary when people don't do what you wanted them to do. Play the victim up, play the victim, right? That's all the Democrats are good for. Yeah, that's all.
134. Stevie turns off the camera. Yeah, I like that. That's usually pretty good. The things that I notice, I don't know if other people do. That's where my fun comes in. She knows she's being watched. This was even before I started making videos on her. She's very shy. It's not about me. It's about her. She's having trouble controlling her reactions. She's kind of like an Aspie almost, in that she can't hold back what she's really thinking. She's sabotaging her own job, I think. But I'm not sure. I don't think they're married. I just don't. He calls her honey at some point. I forget where. I don't know if I jotted down where, but they should prove that they're married.
For freedom of speech, and fight these fucking stupid lockdowns, and fight this fucking stupid facade scamdemic, right? It just needs to happen. It needs to happen. And look, I was on the other day, and I've been on Facebook and Twitter and all this other stuff, and I've spoken to doctors, and I've spoken to lawyers, and I've spoken to these people now. I didn't talk to an astronaut. But the thing,
they're right in spy country. He could have moved to be closer to Langley. And he's driving over to her house, or they're engineering it to make it seem that he's across the room from her. 140, not monetized. They're pointing out that they're not monetized. Manitalk was staring at the clock, or there's notes written down. I noticed that with Oz too. He's probably got stuff written on the side. They can't have it both ways. You're either doing CIA level production values, or you're gonna be raw, like myself, or other people who are obviously real. Although those people seem very difficult to find. Or maybe it's designed so we don't find each other.
That's why they censor us. That's why they demonetize and deplatform and kick us off of, the internet, because there are real people out there telling the honest truth about what's going on.
people like you, people like kind of like me.
Well, we're not monetized, so we got that going for us.
I don't want to be. I don't. I just don't. I don't want to fucking be monetized. I want people just to share my information, and see if it fits, and not if it fits, but more of maybe just open in the box that they put you in. Just open the window and just look out for a little bit and see what you see. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Just do that. Now for me, there was I think it was on some show, it was Trash Inc. And I was watching how the black sand beaches on the Kona coast of the Big Island.
At 141.18. Oh yeah, Manitalk says plethora or plethora. And then I'm like, what? Isn't it plethora or plethora?
The black sand beaches on the Kona coast of the Big Island were starting to gather pollution at an insurmountable amount. Just plethora of fucking plastic trash and stuff were coming left and right, and they had to get crews out there to clean it. And still to this day, they still have to clean that shit.
Yeah.
But when I was there as a young lad, you know,
Okay, I have that he can't sing in tune. I had slooped his dad. He said in another show that a friend of his or is a district attorney. It was in Orange County or San Diego, some right-wing city. They look and act military. 14122. Stevie's trying to hold in a chin roll.
and they had to get crews out there to clean it. And still to this day, they still have to clean that shit.
Yeah.
But when I was there as a young lad,
I put down a possible title for this episode of Tokyo Shemp. Hate Watching. That's what I'll call it. It'll be called Hate Watching. I'll circle that to remind myself that that's the title. Oh, I noticed that their audio is crappy. They might have dirt in the port. My audio wasn't so good until I figured out that it needed to be cleaned. I also had to re-download Audacity because somehow I messed up the settings. And it's not so easy to figure that part out if you want to reset them. So it's easier to just re-download the whole thing. Audacity's fun. I've been having a lot of fun in building up my confidence. They say we sound differently to ourselves than we do to everyone else. That's something I'd be interested in trying to figure out, if it's true. So they got crappy audio. These timestamps might be off a little bit. My notes are a little too chicken scratched. Chicken scrawl? What's that they call it? I got written down 14309. She seems to be smoking. I heard someone crack a lighter.
warning: do not go in. Toxic. Da 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 da. And that's it's happening. It's continuous, and it's just getting worse. So I decided to get into politics to see what I could do to try to fix it.
Maybe that's at 148, and he calls her honey at 14309, or yeah, that seems what the notes are saying. And then 152ish. Well, I'll figure it out when I put this together.
And to save this, not just for us, but for our kids, and so on and so forth.
What's the rule of camping?
What's the rule of camping? What do you say?
Yeah, when you go camping, what's the rule? You leave it better than how you found it, right?
Yes, exactly, for sure.
That's kind of like our
That's what I
philosophy on, everything.
Absolutely.
Leave this earth a little bit better than the way we found it. Just make it a little bit better.
All right, I'm just gonna say it's getting pretty close. Oh, well, shit, it's getting late. All right, I want to say, well, just to let you know, I work late, so this is more like after dinner thing for me.
Yeah, we're
But
not
I want
out.
to say thank you, everybody. Let's do our big smile and wave. I want to say aloha to everybody, and thank you. Are you ready? I'll do shaka. Ooh, shaka, bra.
It's Shia Bright, hang loose. Take the throw one.
Anyway, thank you guys all. Just share what it is just the current process for the world isn't helping the 99%.
No.
And it's not helping the world. And when people come to realize that, then they'll want to dig deeper and do the things that are necessary to change what needs to be changed.
152, 153, making that sound. Well, my notes are pretty bad.